Shalom Israel, and welcome to another episode of Thirsty Thursdays. My name is Micaiah, and today's lesson is what are the laws of God before Moses? Because there's many people out there that believe the laws came after, the laws or newly came up. But now when we go into the scriptures, we'll see that even from the beginning, the laws were established. So now let's begin in Malachi chapter 3 and verse 6. And it reads, "For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed." So here we have in the scriptures, the Most High said, I change not. What I said in the beginning is going to stand when we come to the end. So now let's go to Genesis chapter 26 and verse 5. "Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws." So here we have from the beginning, prior to Moses, it says that Abraham kept the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. That's another scripture. So now let's go to Genesis chapter 7 and verse 2. Genesis chapter 7 and verse 2. "Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female, of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth." So now we have to think about these things. If the laws came during the time of Moses, how would Noah be able to decipher between the clean beasts and the unclean beasts? He wouldn't know if he didn't have the law. But here we have it. It proves that Noah had to have some sort of law, because the scriptures also talk about his uprightness and how he obeyed the ways of the Most High. And let's verify that in the book of Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 2. And it reads, "Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof, and is cloven footed, and cheweth the cud, among all the beasts, that shall ye eat." So now here we have it, the deciphering between the clean beast and the unclean beast in the law of Moses. So now we have to ask ourselves, how would Noah be able to decipher that? We see that it's because the laws were before Moses. The book of Genesis chapter 4 and verse 3. "And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought the offering of the fruit of the ground, an offering unto the Lord. And Abel he also brought of the firstling of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering." So now when we get into the scriptures, where do we see the law of the offerings? We find that during the time of Moses. So now showing you this is prior to Moses. The laws of our offering, the laws of our increase, of our first fruits. We see them doing this in the beginning. So showing you it goes all the way back to the beginning that we have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Here, I have one more. Let's go to Genesis chapter 2 and verse 2. The book of Genesis chapter 2 and verse 2. "And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day, and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made." So here we have it. Even from the beginning, what does that sound like? That sounds like the holy Sabbath that we're supposed to keep. And the scripture says 6 days the Most High we labored and did all our work. But the seventh day is a Sabbath of rest unto the Most High God. We can find that in Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. So here we have it. The laws have been established from the beginning, and it's mandatory for our people to continue to keep these laws and uphold them in order for our people to receive salvation. My name is Micaiah, and with that, I'll say shalom.